talking about Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I loved this book. It's probably one of the better things I've read in the past few months. I can understand why it's a TV show now. It's set in Scotland, and I would define it as historical fiction, but it definitely has some, fantastical elements thrown in, time travel. But the way that they're put in is so believable that it didn't, you didn't have that thought of, oh, magic. It was more just oh yeah, that happened. And that's part of the story. So I would definitely categorize it as historical fiction with a dash of fantasy. It's actually a pretty easy read. It's super long, as you can see. It's like Game of Thrones length, which was a little daunting at first because Game of Thrones, as anybody who's read it knows, is a super intense read. But this definitely wasn't intense like that. I didn't feel like I was juggling so many ridiculous things as I was reading. So it didn't take me nearly as long to read it. Sorry, my animals are being ridiculous. The main characters are a girl named Claire, and Jamie, who is Scottish, and Claire is British. I would say it's mainly a romance, and it does talk about a lot of historical things that I had to look up as I was reading, because I'm not the best on my Scottish history, or really that part of English history for that matter. I tend to, know the really old stuff and the really recent stuff and nothing in between, so I had to look up some of that stuff. But really good. Definitely an adult novel. There is some, sexy times in it. Nothing too graphic, but I definitely would, categorize it as adult. That and the length makes it pretty adult. I would say, especially if you're watching the TV show, it matches up fairly well. Obviously, they, change things just because they have to, but it's still, pretty on point with things. It's really well thought out. I'm really looking forward to, reading the next book. I think one thing I particularly really liked about it was how Claire isn't always the most likable character. I think she, can get very headstrong and, isn't always thinking things through. And I would say the same thing about Jamie. I feel like romance books with the female as the main character tend to romanticize the male character and make him seem, perfect and can't do anything wrong, a Twilight situation. But he definitely makes mistakes, and at some of the points, I really questioned why she liked him so much, because I guess it's a sign of the times, but there are some things in here where I was just like, don't approve. So there is that, but I think that's, more of a sign of a realistic relationship. Nobody's perfect, and every once in a while does something stupid. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. And I'm looking forward to reading the next one. I'm probably not going to read the next one right away because I'm currently reading Chalice by Robin McKinley, and it's taking me a long time, so it'll be a little bit before I get to the next one. But I do have it, and I'm excited to read it. This one, I wouldn't say it ended on a cliffhanger, but it ended on a bit of a ooh moment. So I'm looking forward to that. If you'd like to see any more of my reviews or anything like that, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hot. All the things. All the coffee. I don't know what my hair is doing. It looks weird. It needs a haircut. Why, you weird hair? You do the strange things. I don't understand. I don't. It's my cat. Pulling treats off the shelf. And then the sound freaks out my dog. It's a bad cat. There he goes again. Yeah. Bartleby! Bartleby. You're so bad. So